What's up, y'all? It's your girl M.Falconer here, and welcome back to my studio. As you guys know, I just recently bought a brand new printer. In my last video, you guys saw me set it all up and put it all together. And if you haven't seen that video, check it out, link in bio. But after I set up my printer, I ran into a slight problem where I didn't like the paper that I originally bought to use in my printer. So I've been searching the internet high and low to find some new paper that can work well for me, and I finally found a couple papers that could work. So I ordered these new papers, and because of COVID-19 and everything, they took weeks to get here, like weeks. But they're finally here. So in this video, I will be testing out the new papers that I got. I'll be recalibrating them, seeing the different colors, how the ink works with the texture of the paper, all that fun stuff. And if it all goes well, that means that I can finally start producing my prints in-house with my printer. So let's work through this paper printing process, and hopefully we can have some high quality prints by the end of this video. So let's do this. As you guys can see, I've ordered two different types of paper, and I'll tell you why. So in my search for fine art papers, there are a plethora of options, and the main concern for me when it comes to art paper is that I don't want a paper that bends easily. Now, this is paper that we're talking about, and paper bends, and the problem is I ship my prints because I sell my prints online, and my larger prints get shipped rolled up in a shipping tube, and when the customer receives the print, they have to unroll that print after it's been tightly rolled up for days, even weeks, being shipped to them. And unrolling that print, if that paper is too fragile or it just bends too easily, it could get folded, it could easily get ripped, it could not uncurl fully. And I know if I was a customer receiving a print, I would hate that. I would hate that process, having to like unroll it and make sure it doesn't get damaged and it stays flat and all that stuff. So I wanted a paper that is more durable. It could handle being, unrolled and held up and all the stuff you have to do when you buy a print online. So it was hard finding a type of paper that could do that. And the paper that I was using with my previous supplier was perfect, but that paper supplier does not make prints in the sizes for the printer that I got. So I had to find another option. And the only other option that I could think of was canvas. Yes, canvas prints. Typically people use canvas prints for making like stretched canvas reproductions of their artwork, and I've done that in the past, but canvas is such a durable material and option. Like, you can unroll it, you can bend it around, it won't fold and tear easily. It's even a little bit water resistant, and those are all the characteristics that I was looking for in a paper. And I'm like, why not canvas? Most artists don't use canvas for like their regular paper prints, but I'm not trying to be like everyone else. If canvas works for me, canvas is what I'm gonna do. So I started searching for canvas printer paper, and there were a lot of companies. Some were very expensive, like fine art gallery expensive. And listen, I'm not trying to charge an arm and a leg for my prints, but there were two options that I found that were high quality and affordable. So the first canvas that I've got here is from a company called Premier Art, and they were only available in the US, and I live in Canada. So I had to get this shipped to me from the US, and the USPS is going through a little bit of an issue right now, and the shipping was taking forever. Like 2 weeks have passed and I still hadn't got this canvas. And the reason why it's so small is because I wanted to try a sample of the canvas first, because because I didn't want to go through the same situation with my old paper where I buy a whole full roll of it and I don't want to use it. I didn't want to waste my money. So I asked to just order a smaller roll just to test the paper out before I go purchase the bigger, larger roll. But it was taking so long and I was just like having my printer sit here. Like I didn't spend this much money on a printer to just have it collect dust. So I got impatient. I wanted to get my prints out. So I found another company that was in Canada that sold a similar quality canvas. It was a bit more expensive, but I'm like, you know what? I'd rather start printing fast. So I purchased that canvas. They didn't have a sample size. So that's the paper we got here. And I was okay with buying a full roll for this one because there were actually some reviews online, like on YouTube, showing the quality of the paper and they looked really good. So I didn't have any worries that the paper would be bad. The reason why I didn't go with this first is because this option is actually a lot cheaper, but the quality is still comparable. So that's why I have two papers here. And basically we're gonna test out both of them in this video. We're gonna compare them. I'll probably just end up using both of them eventually. And it's good to have a backup because I don't wanna be stuck waiting for this canvas and not have another option to work with that is more accessible to me. I have a feeling that both of them will actually be really good. Like just looking at them in the plastic, like they both seem almost the same. So we'll see when the ink touches the canvas how it'll work out. But yeah, I think I want to try the smaller Premier Art canvas first. Oh, I forgot to mention the brand for the bigger paper is actually Epson. Canon did have a brand of canvas, but like I said, it was way too expensive for what I'm trying to do. But Epson is more or less the same thing. I know I won't have any problems, you know, Epson paper in a Canon printer. Using different brands doesn't really make that huge of a difference, I'm sure. Either way, we're about to find out right now. So let's test these papers, guys. I'm so excited. Okay, first thing we gotta do is remove the old paper that's inside the printer right now. Okay guys, so now that the paper is in, I'm just gonna move the position of this basket to kind of just make it easier when I start printing. All right, so this is the print that I'm going to try and print right now. It's my Missy Elliott print and the size is 11 by 14. So played around with the settings. I'm not sure how accurate it's gonna be, but this is just a test. So this is how it looks on the screen. Vibrant colors. Hopefully it comes out right. All right, let's press print. Is actually so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Look at this. Bro.
The canvas makes it look so like,
right?
Okay.
That
like,
pop though. Oh my gosh, guys. This is the best thing I've ever done in my life. Do you guys see this? Do you guys see the texture? I don't think you guys are ready. Like, I really don't think you guys are ready. Like the texture, cause it's canvas, it almost looks like a painting. That's crazy. Oh my gosh, you guys, like, I am literally freaking out at the quality of this thing. Look at this, look at this. Like, oh my gosh. The canvas just gives it something extra that you just can't get with any other type of paper. Like, I can't believe I made this, you guys. I can believe it, but I can't believe it. Oh my gosh, I'm so gassed right now. And it looks just like it does on the computer. Like the colors are perfectly matched. Let me show y'all. So this is like the computer image versus the real life. Look at this. Look at this. The colors are perfect. Oh my gosh, I'm so amped right now. Yes, yes. All right, you guys, so it is like the next day. We've got our first paper sample done. Amazing. Now we're gonna switch out the papers and I'm gonna put in this second roll and we're gonna test that paper. So let's do it. So take a look at this, you guys. This printer is really smart, and basically when you're taking a roll out, it prints this code on the old roll so that when I put this roll back in to print something else, the printer can read this and it'll know how much paper is left on the roll. Isn't that so dope? So yeah, let's take this paper out. Alright y'all, so as you can see, this is a full length 24-inch roll, and I got this one because they don't make a sample size of this type of canvas as far as I know. And also, like I mentioned, the first roll that I purchased was taking way too long that I didn't even think it would get here in time, so I ordered this one and then they both happened to arrive on the same exact day. Except this one took almost a month and this one took like 4 days. I also got the full length because I want to actually start printing. Like, I need to get my production up and running, so at least I know that I'll have this roll available as like a backup quick access roll while I'm waiting for the other roll to take however long it takes to ship. So this roll is a bit more expensive, so if the cheaper roll did that well, I have high hopes for this one, so I'm excited to see how it does. Okay guys, so this is what I'm going to print. Obviously this paper is bigger, so I can fit 2 prints, 2 11 by 14 prints. So that's why I'm gonna print 2 because I don't want to, waste paper. So let's see how these come out. You guys, look at this. Oh my god, man. Oh, you guys don't know how happy I am right now. Like, these are my first legit prints and it looks so good. Oh, I don't even want to touch it yet. Let's let the ink settle down. Let's let the ink settle down. Oh my gosh. Look at me doing my happy dance over here. This is lit. Okay. Woo, okay. Let me calm down. Oh, this is so good. Oh, so good. All right, I'm too excited, you guys. So both papers have been printed. So before we do a little comparison, first I want to cut these. As you can see, they printed on one sheet, but the print lines, or should I say the cut lines, have been printed as well in each corner here. There. So basically I want to cut the edges off so that they're exactly 11 by 14. And I actually got something special for this. So y'all are in for a bit of a surprise. Alright, you guys, as you can see, I got this beautiful paper trimmer. I literally just ordered this yesterday and it arrived here today, and it's a super high quality, heavy duty paper trimmer. It's kind of on the higher end. The brand is Premier and I got it from Uline, and the grand total was about $250 Canadian. But you know, I thought it would be worth the price because I'm gonna be using this for a long time. It's gonna be a main staple piece of equipment now that I'm printing my own prints. So I didn't want to get anything cheap that I felt would like break after a while or like be flimsy. So I decided to spend a bit more for quality. For me, quality is way more important than like money or like the dollar amount. You know, like I would rather just spend the money and not have to stress about, is this gonna work? Is this gonna break? You know, but yeah, I'm excited to start using it. It is pretty big. It's 18 by 18 inches and I'm going to be using it to cut my 11 by 14 prints. The base is real hard wood and it has a nice like ruler printed on it. The blade is like self-sharpening, so I don't have to worry about sharpening it all the time. And it like auto locks in place, so it has all the safety features. I don't have to worry about anything like that. So without further ado, let us cut our test prints and then we could compare the final products. So this is the first print that we did the other day on the smaller roll. So we're just gonna cut this part off right here. So we want it to be 14 inches. So we're just gonna align it with the 14. Houston, we have a problem. As y'all can see, this paper trimmer does not work. Look at this, y'all. Like literally, it kind of just perforates it, but it doesn't cut it like all the way through. Like it's just like folded. Yeah, clearly this is not what I was expecting, you guys. So I guess this thing doesn't work with canvas. Clearly, I really thought it would work, y'all. Like on the product page, it says it can cut up to like 20 sheets at a time. So I'm like, oh, it can cut through thick media. I mean, it didn't specifically say canvas, but still, you know, it's a heavy duty blade. It's an expensive piece of equipment, but I guess you just live and you learn. Like, even like cutting it multiple times, like I did with this one, it was just not, this is just not gonna work. So this was an epic fail. You know what? It's all good because I'm just gonna return it because clearly it's just a really expensive paperweight now. So anyone watching this, don't buy a paper trimmer to cut canvas. So I'm gonna have to find another solution to cut these. Right now we're just gonna have to use handy dandy old scissors, but I'm gonna get back to my research and see what else I can get to make this work. But this trimmer is not it. It is not it. I was excited, you guys. I was excited for this to work, but such is business. You think something's gonna work and then you try it and it's just not it. But such is life. At least we learned something, you know. All L's are really lessons. So let's figure out a new solution, and I'm gonna just hand cut these for now. So LOL. right, y'all, after that grueling work hand cutting those prints. Actually, while I was hand cutting them, I really realized how thick this canvas is. Like, it was actually work. Like, that was a hand workout. Like, the canvas is actually pretty thick. So like, I see why the cutter didn't cut it, but still. Anyways, now that that is over, let's compare these print samples. Okay, you guys, so these are the 3 print samples that I have printed. This one over here is the first sample that I did, and these 2 are from the second sample roll that we did. So first, I just want to compare the print quality on the 2 different types of papers. So we have the same image of Missy Elliott printed, 2 separate papers. Honestly, both of them are really similar, like very similar. Like in person, you honestly can barely tell a difference between them. The paper quality is more or less the exact same. There's just a few slight differences. So this is the Premier Art paper and this is the Epson paper. And the Epson paper is a bit more expensive than the Premier Art paper. And the slight differences that I noticed is that the ink is a tiny bit more saturated on the Epson paper than the Premier Art paper. Like if you look in the reds a little bit, you can see it's a tiny bit more saturated. The blacks are a tiny bit more blacker, but like in person looking at it, the camera doesn't really pick it up 100%. It's not that huge of a difference. Like really, it wouldn't make me change my decision of like picking this one over this one, you know what I mean? It's very similar. In terms of the paper quality itself, the Epson paper is a little bit thicker. Like it has more of a weight to it than the Premier Art paper, which is like lighter, more flexible compared to the Epson, which is like a little bit stiffer. You guys can see that. So kind of by like feeling it, you might be able to tell that this one's a bit more expensive, but this one does not feel cheap by any means, like at all. Now, another main difference that I noticed between the Epson paper and the Premier Art paper is that the Premier Art paper, after it was printed, the ink was dry pretty much immediately after it was printed. Like dry to touch, just no smudging or anything. It was just ready to go right off the printer, perfectly dry. However, with the Epson paper, I noticed that the ink came out and it looks a little bit shiny, like it was still wet. So I actually did touch it, and if you look closely on the Rihanna print, you could see I rubbed it, and of course the ink is not dry. You can kind of see on my finger how the black ink came off a little bit, and you could see how it came off on the print itself. So even now, it's probably been half an hour, the ink is still not dry. Even on this edge, you could see when I had that mishap with the paper cutter, the blade kind of brushed across the print and it brushed off the ink in this area as well. So you could see the ink kind of rubbing off. So that leads me to question, like, how long is it actually gonna take for this to dry completely? Like, if you lightly rub over it, nothing happens, but it's not dry enough where I would feel comfortable packaging and shipping it yet. Like, I would only wanna package it when it's 100% dry. So I looked on the instructions, and right here on the instructions, I noticed it says that it takes approximately 48 hours for the ink to cure completely. So 48 hours, you guys, that is a long time. That is 2 days. So that's kind of a bit of a downside when it comes to the Epson paper, because, you know, if you're in a rush printing out your stuff, like prints everywhere, trying to get your packages out, like you don't really want to have to worry about letting your prints sit for 2 days to fully dry. So I don't really like that about the Epson paper. Maybe though it's not the paper's fault, because I am using an Epson paper in a Canon printer, so maybe the inks aren't super compatible, but like the instructions said though, it does take longer to dry. For some reason, the Premiere Art just dries instantly. I don't know what the difference is that allows it to dry so quickly. Maybe it's the satin finish on top, even though both of these canvases have a satin finish. So I don't know what's up with the Epson paper. It is a really high quality paper, but that dry time, I don't know if I like it. All right, y'all, so before I end the video, I just want to do a quick comparison between my old prints and this new print. So this is the old paper that I was using. It's not canvas. It's kind of like I don't even know what kind of paper this is, to be honest. But these are the old prints I was using, and these are the exact same files. So comparing this one with this one, I could already see there's a huge difference in terms of showing the details. Like, look at this. Look at all of the different shading and brush strokes that you can get from my printer and this kind of paper versus this. Like, it's kind of just muddied together and like softened and smudged. Even like the reds are deeper and kind of more true to color than this. The blacks even seem blacker, and it's just like the detail that it picks up. Like, if you look at the eyebrows, you can see every single individual stroke on this canvas. Versus here, like, yes, you can see the strokes, but it's not as clear. It's not sharp enough. But look at that. Boom. Like, if you compare the eyes even, like, crazy difference. It's just so much sharper. So I'm glad I ended up choosing canvas versus paper. And it's not even just with the Epson canvas. So here's a comparison of my old paper, the big one for the Missy Elliott. And then we've got the Epson on the left and the Premiere Art on the right. And even with the Premiere Art, the difference in the detail and the accuracy of the colors is just so much better. Like, the reds on the canvas actually look red compared to like this magenta-ish tone that we have here. And again, like, these are the exact same files that I printed. The blacks are darker here. Like, look at these details in the eyes and the eyebrows on the canvas compared to on the paper. Like, it's just not the same. Like, the canvas is just, so sharp, so detailed. Look at the lips on the canvas versus the lips on the paper. It's just not as sharp. It's just not as rich of a color. You know, Missy Elliott's face just looks a little bit paler on this paper versus the canvas. It's just deeper colors, deeper tones, much better quality, even on the cheaper Premiere Art canvas. And yeah, the Epson is similar, like I said. So either way, it's a huge improvement from what I was using before. So I'm gonna say goodbye to these papers and hello to my new canvas prints. I think I'm gonna go with the Premiere Art paper as my main paper because the quality is very high and the ink dries super fast. Like, that fast drying ink makes more sense for me as an artist, you know, producing my own stuff and trying to get my orders out quickly. It's just way more convenient than having to wait 48 hours for the Epson canvas to dry. But like I said, the Premiere Art takes so much longer to arrive. It takes like weeks and weeks to ship. So I'm gonna have to stick with the Epson canvas for now until I can get my hands on the Premiere Art canvas. So I'm just gonna have to deal with the inconveniences of waiting for this stuff to dry before I ship out my orders. And I do have some orders currently pending, so I'm gonna need to get some orders out ASAP. So that just lets me know I'm gonna have to do my printing 2 days before I plan on actually shipping anything. So it's not a huge deal, but I really can't wait for the Premiere Art paper to get here. I'm gonna order it ASAP Rocky. All right, you guys, so thank you for following along with me as I tested out my new printer paper / canvas. Let me know in the comments which paper you guys like better. Like, do you not mind waiting 48 hours for your ink to dry just for like that thicker quality, or would you rather just just go for the convenience factor, you know. I'd love to hear your opinions, so let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you thought of this video overall. Did you enjoy the process? Did you enjoy seeing my epic fail with the paper trimmer? Either way, I hope you had fun watching this vlog. Let me know what else you guys want to see me vlog about in the comments below. And if you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more videos like this of me and my art journey as a full-time artist. Thanks again to everyone for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.